What's up guys, welcome to the channel. To start things off, I have an anime rap channel called Sensei Beats. I've posted a few anime raps there and I will continue to post more and more. You should check it out, your support and feedback would be much appreciated. Secondly, there's my Discord server if you want to join an active otaku community where there are regular anime quizzes and stuff like that, you should consider joining it. The links to both the channel and the server will be down in the description box down below. Anyways, back to the video. Today's video is pretty specific. We'll be taking a look at the Isekai anime of 2019 and 2020, in which the protagonist is overpowered in one way or another. Well then, shall we begin? First off on our list is Marimashita Iruma-kun. First on our list we have the Blue Deku. That's right, 14-year-old Iruma Suzuki kind of gives you the same vibes as Izuki Midoriya, and the character design is also quite similar, but that's all there really is to it. Iruma has lived his entire life working his ass off, and Midoriya has been taking notes on popular heroes. See? They're pretty different. They both live their lives differently, so Iruma is not a Midoriya ripoff. Let's just end that debate right here. Anyways, back to the anime. Iruma has had a pretty rough past. His parents forced him to work his ass off every single day, while they themselves just sat back and relaxed. Until the day they did something that Midoriya's parents definitely wouldn't do. They actually sold his soul to a demon. And that's exactly what changes Iruma's life for the better. He's taken to the demon world and realizes that he's going to be the grandson of the demon who bought him. He enrolls in a demon school called Babylos, and he realizes that his new grandfather is the school's chairman, and the whole school realizes that he is the grandson of the chairman. And just like that, Iruma's new life as the grandson of a demon begins. Honestly, you are going to love this anime. And up next we have Shincho Yusha. Imagine being overpowered and overly cautious at the same time. Seiya Ruguin has both of those traits covered, but what makes him so overpowered isn't the fact that he's incredibly strong or anything like that, but the fact that he's never too careful, and sometimes that attitude of his becomes almost too ridiculously hilarious. The anime begins like this. A goddess is in panic because she has to save a world, and to do that she needs a hero. After going through countless of possible heroes, she ends up summoning Seiya, probably from Japan. And Seiya's the type of guy who would always care less about fate, destiny, and things like that. If he has to do something, he'll do it, but only after he's 100% sure of his success. Now, I know edgy characters like him aren't usually liked, but he is an exception. He promotes true gender equality just like Kazuma, and has Naofumi's edgy side. All in all, this anime is an isekai, so there's no real reason to take it seriously. The only isekai anime that should ever be taken seriously is Re:Zero. My soul still hurts. But as far as the comedy goes, there is some questionable humor in there, which is sure to make you laugh. Up next we have Hatake Kimono Michi. Just like the previous anime, we have another main character with an unusual trait. His name is Genso Shibata, and he used to be a legendary pro wrestler who always knocked out his opponents, before he got isekai to another world by a princess whose kingdom is threatened by monsters. He was in the middle of a match when this happened, so the moment he got isekai'd, he was half naked, and the princess doesn't do a good job of explaining the situation because what she says makes Genso furious. He grabs her by the waist and knocks her out. With the princess out of the picture, he has no choice but to run away. Now, this is how the anime begins, but I didn't mention one thing, and that is Genso's affection for animals. He has a small best friend called Hiroyuki, who happens to be a dog, and both of them are inseparable. With Hiroyuki by his side, Genso wanders into the town half naked, and comes across Misha and her brother, who's a dog girl, and her brother's practically a humanoid dog. Seeing this lets Jetso's body chemicals run on all cylinders. In short, this anime is about an animal-loving wrestler who gets isekai to a fantasy world where there are all kinds of human-like animals. To him, this is nothing short of paradise. And up next we have Auri Fureta, from Commonplace to World's Strongest. We're back to the good old harem isekai protagonist. 17-year-old Hajime Nagamo is a hardcore otaku, but his normal everyday life goes straight into the abyss when he and his classmates are summoned to another world, and their goal is to save the world. All of Hajime's classmates are given impressive supernatural abilities and combat skills. However, Hajime only gets a transmutation skill that doesn't hold much significance when it comes to actual combat. Everyone is taken on an expedition, and there Hajime gets betrayed by one of his classmates and falls into the bottom of an abyss. Even though he somehow manages to survive the fall, he gets surrounded by all sorts of monsters who could kill him in a second. With no way out, Hajime is terrified. But even so, he makes up his mind to rather fight than letting himself die right there and then. That's when he not only finds other folks and become acquainted with them, but also ends up making full use of his transmutation skill. And that's how he goes from commonplace to embarking on the path of becoming the world's strongest. The anime itself seems to be getting a lot of hate because people think that the CGI and the bad script writing ruined it, but if you're interested in this story, you should check out the manga. Coming up next, we got Kenja no Mago. There's a national hero in the kingdom of Earlshide whose name is Merlin Warful. People love and respect him for his service to the kingdom and his extraordinary strength. However, instead of continuing on as the national hero, he decides to live a quiet life deep in the mountains, all the while dedicating his time to raising a small child that he saved. This small child is named Shin. Before he got isekai to this world and ended up becoming Merlin's grandchild, he used to be a normal salaryman. Days and months pass by, and Shin makes it as apparent as day that he has a rare talent for using magic and overall combat. This rare talent of his even surprises Merlin, who once used to be a legend himself. When he becomes 15 years old, he enrolls in the kingdom's magic academy. At the academy, his social life is a disaster, which is to be expected because he spent all those years mastering combat skills instead of playing around with other children. And if that weren't enough, everybody knows that he is Merlin's grandchild, which makes him somewhat of a celebrity. Coming in at the halfway point, we got Tate no Yusha no Nariagari. This anime is a clear example of how becoming an isekai protagonist can sometimes mess up your mental health. And don't get me wrong, Re:Zero still takes the top spot when it comes to those anime. I was just saying that this one is also a little similar. But unlike all the other anime we've talked about, I won't reveal what happens in the first episode, because that is where the twist lies. Even so, for you guys who've already watched this anime, I want you all to press F to pay respect for Bitch-chan and Trash-san. Well then, let's discuss the premise. The 20-year-old otaku named Naofumi, who is living a peaceful life all the while enjoying his otaku activities, gets transported to another world when he tries to take a look in an odd book at a library. In this new world, he's told that he and the other 3 heroes who are also isekai'd are tasked with saving the world from the waves. While the other 3 heroes get offensive weapons like sword, spear, and bow, Naofumi gets a shield. And just like that, his days of getting ridiculed by everyone else begins. Just go and watch this anime, guys. It's S tier. The 2nd and 3rd season have already been confirmed, so there's a lot to look forward to. Coming up next, we got The 8th Son. Are you kidding me? It is just as the title of this anime says. A 25-year-old Japanese man who was spending his days working his ass off at a firm tries to take it easy a little, and just like that, he gets reincarnated into another world. In this new world, he's the son of a poor yet noble family, and not only that, he's their 8th son. When he pops up in this world, he's in the middle of a wedding. The wedding is of his oldest brother, and after they're done with the wedding, he realizes that his family had busted everything they had on that very wedding. And now the younger ones are all on their own. Fortunately, he learns that he can use rare magic, and that's how his life takes a little turn for the better.
ま、せいぜい気楽に行こう。我々があまり本気を出しすぎると、この世界を壊してしまうからね。
And coming in at 3rd place, we have Chojin Kokosei Tachi wa Isekai Demo Yoyu di Ikunuku Yu Desu. The title of this anime translates to High School Prodigies Have It Easy, Even in Another World. And that's exactly what it's about. There are 7 high school students that are world-renowned for their extraordinary talents. And surprisingly, they're all Japanese. What a coincidence. All 7 of them were on board a plane when it crashed. And that's how they ended up getting isekai to a fantasy world, in which there are 2 human races that live together. One has animal features, and the other has magical powers. They get rescued by the ones with animal features, and then pledge to somehow pay them back, and also find a way to return home. The main character, named Tsukasa Mikogami, was the Prime Minister of Japan, and the leader of these prodigies, even though he was still in high school. And this is the story of how these 7 teenagers try to fix a corrupt world.
ねえ、マー君ってば、あら？何書いてるの、マー君？
勝手に見るなって、邪魔！俺をあだ名で呼ぶことが苦痛すぎる。
And coming in at 2nd place, we have yet a very long name. Sujo Gogeki ga Sentai Gogeki di Nikai Gogeki no Okosan wa Suki desu ka? So let's get one thing clear. The main character of this anime is the main character's mom, named Mamako. So let's just ignore him and talk about the true main character, Mamako, and a cute smile. She's just so overpowered. She pulls out 2 insanely powerful swords like it's nothing, and not only that, the scene where she's pouting ended up becoming an internet meme. That's why I'm sure you must have seen her before, even if you haven't watched this anime. As for the anime, the story goes like this. An annoying-ass edgy boy gets isekai to a game world, and his mom also tags along. From there on out is a roller coaster of constant fan service and opai. I'd say Mamako is the only reason why you should watch this anime. Because if it weren't for her, this anime would have never become half as popular as it is. And coming in at 1st place on our list, we have Mao-sama Retry. Okay, so imagine the main character from Steins Gate and Rem from Re:Zero put into the world of Death March to a Parallel World Rhapsody. It is great. The main character used to be the adult who managed the MMORPG called Infinity Game. 15 years after the creation of the game, he decides to shut down the servers. But when the clock strikes 12, he finds himself in the body of the game's demon lord, named Hakuto Kunai. Moments after getting isekai'd, he sees a small girl named Aku who's getting chased by a demon. Even though Hakuto managed to destroy the demon, he gets a little concerned because he doesn't remember her creating the demon or the little girl. He starts having doubt about whether he's in the world of a game or somewhere else. He brings the little girl Aku with him, of course he does, and starts investigating into the matter. And there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. It got a little longer than usual. Be sure to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed, and if you're new to the channel, you could consider turning that little red subscribe button grey. I post regular content like every other day or so. And yeah, without further ado, see you in my next video. Until then, stay safe and watch anime.